It's Mariana Lourens here with Art and Entertainment. Ja, Mariana Lourens met kuns en vermaak. En ons is hier by die Operahuis. Mag ek nog sê Operahuis? Ek glo nie, want dit het nou 'n nuwe naam. Dit is nou die Mandela Bay Theatre Complex for Cultural, or the National Cultural Institution. Whatever. I've got Nobs with me, and Nobs, of course, is my old young friend, my long-time young friend. Nobisutu Gai, and I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
I know I am. Nob. So we had the official unveiling of Mandela Bay Theatre Complex as a declared cultural institution. So what do we call it now?
It's called a Mandela Bay Theatre Complex.
So that's the official name.
That's the official name, yes.
Yes.
And it was a big day.
It was an enormous big day because we were waiting in the road for the Minister Natim Tetwa to come. I must say his name correctly as well. And we were waiting, and it was cold
Yes.
in the road, and the road was cordoned off. Our road that goes past the Mandela Bay, which used to be White's Road.
Yes.
And it's now
the John Carney Road.
And we were all standing there, freezing in the cold, waiting for Minister Tetwa. Eventually he did come. He
Yes.
arrived, he cut the ribbon, and he unveiled the plaque.
Yes, he did. And I think, as I was standing there in the cold, and I was thinking, do I keep on enduring the cold? And then I realized that I personally have been part of this journey for 12 years. So what is a bit of cold going to do for a couple of minutes than a 12-year journey? So he did it on that day, and we waited in the cold, and we had our young performers from Nelson Mandela Bay performing for us, and they warmed up our souls. So it was a beautiful day.
Yes, because some of them even climbed right up there on those platforms, those cement
Yes.
platforms, and where the cars are, those half cars
Yes.
are mounted next to it. So it must have been quite a mission for them. So they put on a whole show, and it was about 15 minutes long.
Yes.
So they were enduring the cold.
They were enduring the cold, and I was also just worried about those that were, because I think all of them actually, they had to sing, and having to sing, say that early in the morning and in the cold and outside, and it was like they were playing extreme sports on that day.
Exactly, but they did so well.
They did
and they had to
beautifully.
contend with the sound system that had to contend, of course, with the weather.
Yes.
So, because it was outside. But it was an auspicious occasion.
Yes, it was. It
And
definitely
it was a historical occasion, and we were part of it.
And I can't believe that, because as a young artist at times, when we talk about the history of performing arts in Nelson Mandela Bay, we always talk about the likes of Dani Mariana and what you used to do back then, and the likes of Mam Nomhlenkonyeni and Dr. Kani, Dr. Winston Chona. And when we talk about history, we talk about them. But now, because as young people, we were part of this occasion, the next generation, when they talk about the history of Nelson Mandela Bay and the performing arts, we will be part of that narrative as young people. And that for me is something that to this day I still cannot comprehend.
Yes, and the thing for me is also, I can remember a time in the late 60s, in the early 70s, when we were not allowed to go and see a show with John Carney and Winston Nsona, and that particular one stands out in my mind. It was Sizwe Banzi is Dead, and it was, of course, Athol Fugard. It was a collaboration with the author Athol Fugard, who's also has a name, one of the street names
Yes.
around here. And of course, our late Winston Nsona. But in those years, we were not allowed to go to a show as white people, to see a show done by black people. Black people were not allowed to come into our theatre to give us this amazing show. And there was a way around it. We just went to some occasion that nobody knew where we were going to.
Okay.
And we bought the tickets long before the time. There was no formal ticket selling or anything. It was all done undercover, and it was like we were invited to this, event.
And you didn't say which one it was?
We didn't say which one it
Wow.
was. They didn't say who they were performing to, and we were able to see the show. And that show has always been so close to my heart because it was the story was so prevalent in the history later on, and of something that really, really could have happened about I'm not actually going to tell the story because I want people to buy the play maybe.
Yes.
Access the play on your systems.
Yes.
Whatever you need to do. But Sizwe Banzi
is dead.
That is the name of the play. It is an amazing story. And of course, our Nomshle Nkonyeni, I had the honor of being in that Afrikaans knie diep in die warm water.
Yes.
We were both in that. And we were not in the same scene, but our scenes were shot on the same day. I will always remember how we spent that day together. And of course, I knew her from before here, bumping into her at the Opera House.
Yes.
And chatting and all our festivals we had here, that she was part of some of them. But I mean, she was a big name. I mean, some of the TV shows she was in.
Yes, I mean, there are many of them.
Just name a few.
She was in The Queen. She was in, I think, is it Dingo at some point, or was in Scandal.
Scandal was the big one.
Yes, Scandal was the big one, yes. In The Queen as well. And actually quite a number of ones. And I always used to tease her about sharing a set with, I can't remember, but it's quite a big name in the industry. Someone who's not from South Africa. He's an African American. It's not Idris Elba. I can't remember who it is, but it's really quite like
it's a big name in
Hollywood.
America.
It's a Hollywood name.
Yeah.
And I love the responses that Umam Nomhle Nkonyeni and Dr. John Kani, they would always give when I asked them the question, so Mama, did you want to take a picture with him? Or Dadu John Kani, did you want to take a picture with Beyonce? And they will always say, my darling, they are the ones who want to take pictures with us. And I was like, okay. And they always give me the same answer, even though I'm asking them in two different scenarios. And they've really built a name for themselves, and they've paved the way for us as young people. And I think we shall honor them and always be indebted to them.
Totally. And what I remember the most about her is her sense of humor, because she's this wicked sense of humor.
Yeah.
And we laughed all the time. And I mean, she was just, my sister, and we appreciated each other. It was just for me such a big loss when she went, We're actually getting a bit emotional here now. But yes, so now we've got so much to look forward to. Because already you want to say the Opera House.
The Opera House, I know.
But it is the Opera House, because I'm glad they actually retained the name somewhere. I think on the plaque it said something. I'm not sure now, but somewhere I did see that the name, the Opera House, isn't going lost.
No, it's not getting lost.
It is officially, though, the theatre complex. It's for all the arts. So it's actually cultural. It's a cultural institution. So all the arts are going to be welcome here.
They're going to be welcome. And I think what the declaration actually means, which I think is something at times that it gets lost in the meaning, and one doesn't understand why are we so happy, because on social media, everyone is talking about it. And there are people who are looking at it and they don't understand what it means. So basically, I think the word itself, or the name itself, is saying Mandela Bay Theatre Complex, because it is a complex that has other properties or other venues inside it. So the complex has the barn, the complex has the PE Opera House inside it. So, so that's why it's called the theatre complex, because it holds other venues within it. And then the second issue is the reason why we are so excited about the declaration is because what the PE Opera House had started in terms of doing its own programming and inviting the likes of your work and my work and other people's work, and we get commissioned for that. That is what it is going to continue doing, but it is going to continue doing it in such a more meaningful way, financially, marketing wise, and also programming. Those three things are the most important things that I think people need to understand, that previously the shows could not be marketed properly because there is no marketing department. The marketing is done by one person who also has a handful, who's overworked and who also has just only a handful of media people. That's the first one. So now I think there's going to be a marketing department whereby the shows that we put on here can be well marketed and can be attended by as many people as possible. And then the second thing is the artists are going to be commissioned proper monies. You know, because this is what artists do for a living, and they need to be compensated in such a manner that it is meaningful to them and their families, because other artists are breadwinners at home. So they will be able to be commissioned properly. And the third thing is, when it comes to programming, it won't be that thing of when the program comes out, it's something that needs to happen next week. So the programming will be done a year in advance. So this year, you would know the calendar of events of the Mandela Bay Theatre Complex of what is going to happen next year. So that's what this whole thing means. And also many other developmental projects that they will do. But this is what a declared cultural institution means, which means now you can compare the Mandela Bay Theatre Complex with Market Theatre, with State Theatre, with Durban Playhouse, with Parkhoffs in Bloemfontein, and with Artscape in Cape Town, because it would also be a national theatre getting the same amount of resources that those theatres get. But before, it was a beautiful theatre which looked like those theatres, but it didn't look like them in resources. It wasn't embracing all because of finances.
And also, besides that, it comes from an era where actors and actresses in South Africa anyway were not paid. It was all amateur dramatic societies, and they had to be self-sustaining. Mm-hmm. And then if we had a big show, we could perhaps afford to put it on in the Opera House. And then it happened, and there wasn't much left over. Nobody got paid. It was amateur dramatics, as it says. But some people went on to the professional stage and still had to struggle in South Africa. But they do in other countries as well. You've got every Hollywood actor and actress that became famous did not do it just, in 1 week or a year or two. It took many, many years. So it was a long process to get to the professional stage. But now this is almost hastened it. It's evolved into a platform or an arena where we can actually look forward to not doing stuff for free, because it becomes an industry that can work. I find it ironical that when other theatres, some of the ones you've mentioned there, have had to close because of COVID, and then it was, it was sad.
It was really sad. It was really
because
sad.
We have sound effects here because we are in the
theatre.
In the theatre. We are right in the theatre here, and some people didn't realize we were here. So you hear the sound effects. But yes, I find it ironical that in this time, some of them had to close in this COVID time, and here we are actually declaring our complex, our amazing theatre complex that is just going to be a cultural institution. And we can jump up and down because in spite of COVID, people are still doing what they can. It's tough. People aren't really earning money because online you can do one show and then it's over in 2 or 3 nights. You can put it on, maybe 2 weekends in a row or something like that. Doesn't pay the rent, but we don't give up in the arts.
We don't.
And especially in the performing arts. And what I like about the performing arts, and I hope it becomes more integrated, that we level the playing field. We don't see color, we don't see race. We try and understand each other's languages. And what I appreciate with some of in here we are in Gqeberha.
Yes.
We are speaking isiXhosa, and I appreciate it when I see a play and they throw in a few English sentences just to bring the message, just so that you can follow what's going on. And it is so enriching then to keep watching the play. The play is maybe an hour long, and it's mostly in isiXhosa, but they put in a few English and even a bit of Afrikaans here and there. and a bit of another language. And that is what I've liked to enjoy here in this building and in this room where we are, this huge big theatre where we are. We're sitting here at the back now.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the stage, but we have to now come to the end of our talk.
Yes, and it feels like it just went so quickly.
It went so quickly. Everyone has so much fun when you chat, and especially when you, like you and I, we don't see each other for ages.
And then we want to recap.
Exactly. But tell me now, what would you end off with as encouragement and inviting
I would
the
end
actor,
off,
the player, the singer?
I would end off by saying, I think we need to give the Mandela Bay Theatre Complex staff members a chance to do a roadshow and explain to us how they are going to take this process forward. And when they are doing that, that is when we need to try and find ourselves within how they are going to operate. Because my sense is that there will be a bit of something for all of us.
Yes.
And I so wish that this theatre complex does not come and divide us even further, but actually bring us together. Mamu Tokonchinga, who was a veteran in the industry, said at the unveiling that politicians and the government, when they want to speak about social cohesion, they should just not write about it in documents and policies. They should come to us as artists because we live social cohesion. We are social cohesion.
Totally.
So I so wish that we could embrace this process, support the institution, come closer together as the different arts disciplines, and just work together and do those collaborations and really revive this industry.
Okay, there's the message, and that was Nobesuthu Gai, and we are actually just inviting you all because the official unveiling of Mandela Bay Theatre Complex as a cultural institution happened, and it happened on Monday, and we were both here. So we want to invite you today, just grab the moment and do whatever you can to assist us. We are here, and it's time for us to say goodbye. Unfortunately, the time has run out. So thank you so much for coming, Nobsy. And yes, well, I'll see you.
I'll see you around. Thank you for having me.
Be blessed. So that is from me then, Mariana Lourens, and Art and Entertainment. Time to say goodbye. Van Mariana Lourens en Kuns en Vermaak is dit dan nou Arrivari.